Let's check out the top stories in the nation's newspapers this Wednesday. Looking at the Nation newspaper, first off, the lead story there is captioned Power. TCN, NERC battling to ease lingering outages. Discos blame it all on low supply from Genco's weak infrastructure. And there is a quote there. We're addressing the problems associated with the segments of power sector value chain. We need to compel Discos to perform. They must perform. If they do not perform, all our efforts in generation and transmission is zero. In other stories, Dangote refinery rolls out with diesel later price slash expected. That will generate some positive reactions, no doubt. Binance chief, others charged with money laundering. U.S. Mayor OK's CBN's forex policy, economic plans as well. Politics there, still on the Nation. Ondo APC aspirants jostle for president support. And Dangote, Adenuga, Rabiu, Otedola on Forbes' rich list. Okay, there's a picture story of President Tinubu with President-elect who's now been sworn in Senegal. Of course, the new Senegalese President, Bassirou Diomaye, and, following his inauguration, he has unfolded a pan-African agenda. Platform Times is next. Presidency is proffering reasons on why electricity tariff must increase. You can check that out. Ogun PDP slams Abiodun government for slumbering over responsibilities. Zamfara set to hire 2,000 teachers. 28 abducted girls in Katsina village regained freedom, police confirm. Adeleke lists new retirement age conditions for Oshu teachers. And Pan Yoruba Group urges Southwest governors to establish Odua Airlines. There's a picture story there of Dangote revolutionizing fuel market with 1 million litre diesel sale to marketers. Next to check out is The Guardian. FG finalizing electricity subsidy removal. Plans 200% tariff hike. And there are, further breakdowns there of the rising energy costs. In other stories, $1 billion hybrid note on capital markets underway for Nigeria and others. UCH staff scale down work hours over power outage. Peter Obi economists lecture Tinubu's government on how to reduce borrowing. JAMB uncovers 1,665 fake A-level results. And NLC TUC close ranks on the controversial yet crucial minimum wage issue. All of those stories to read up on. This Nigeria is leading in its own paper now amongst all the other stories. The lead story there is captioned 28 girls abducted in Katsina rescued. That's good news as police confirm release of 9 kidnapped Delta students. Now, CAN demands public apology from FIRS over Easter message. And Wike in the news again. We brought that up in our news earlier, slamming Rivers governor's allies, saying they're telling Fubara they'll teach me a lesson, but they lack the capacity. Faye is sworn in as Senegal's youngest president. Tinubu approves FCT's 1.1 trillion naira 2024 statutory budget. FCTA recovers over 100 hectares of land. Vanguard reports on anguish as 30 children, others get kidnapped in Katsina, Zamfara, Delta State. Also listing 1,087 Nigerians kidnapped in March alone. Bandits kill man, abduct wife, neighbor in Zamfara, disrupt prayers at mosque, and a host of several other riders. On the Okwama killings, police, not army, should probe, try suspects. Now, this is the position of several senior advocates of Nigeria, as well as retired judges, as the army presses on in its bid to find the killers of the 17 soldiers who were felled by suspected members of the community. Tinubu Oborewori Saraki congratulate Olu of Warri at 40. Turnover in official market rises 95% to $12.68 billion in the first quarter of the year. Why I fell out with Orderly, says Wike. We must decentralize Nigeria now. Wachuku Peter side. On Ondo governorship race, APC leaders, aspirants clash over Ayedatiwa's endorsement. Finally, with me is New Telegraph. Wike tackles Secondus. Sekibo for supporting Fubara, calls them expired politicians. Obi tackles FG over 10 trillion naira spent on servicing what he calls unproductive debts. On insecurity, Zamfara restricts movement along Katsina-Sokoto borders. Can slams FIRS over Easter message, demands apology and retraction, urges organizations to handle religious symbols and narratives with sensitivity. All right, Theophilus.
All right, with me, the Salient Times says Bassirou Faye sworn in as Senegal's youngest president. Nigerian youth only interested in being PA, says Showore. Lekki Port received 75,000 vessels, 25,000 transshipment in 1 year. An NPP women leader resigns over alleged exclusion of followers. Ondo resident doctors begin 14-day warning strike. And of course, why I shook hands with Kano Deputy Governor but didn't shake Governor, said Ahmed Musa. That's in the Salient Times this morning. We move now to the Punch newspaper. Diesel price drops as Dangote sells 1,225 naira per litre. Supplies petrol May. Dealers get 1 million litres each at 1,225 naira per litre. Price drops in Oyo, Lagos, Ogun State. Senegal president sworn in advocates Africa's unity, security. Disconnection UCH doctors suspend night shift, begins strike Tuesday. Deputy CP found dead in Oyo apartment. Please begin probe. Court fires Ogun CP 5 others 25 million naira for unlawful detention. That's in the Punch newspaper this morning. Let's move now to First News. Annoying Easter message. Khan demands a public apology from FIRS. Bassirou Faye is sworn in as Senegal's youngest president, a new era of reform. Deputy Commissioner of Police commits suicide in Ogbomoso. Fubara, Wike, Lambast, Secondus, other Rivers PDP leaders, labels them political buccaneers, reveals cause of rift with Orderly. APC chieftain asserts no merger can halt Tinubu's 8 years. Dangote refinery rolls out diesel scales promises fuel market revolution. That's in First News this morning. So we move to Daily Independent now. It says here, Peter Obi cries out over use of 10 trillion naira to service debt. Moving on, the fire destroys goods worth 360 million naira in Kwara market. Religion can't divide us. Let's work together. Akpabio tells senators. Poor air liberalization, Basa high taxes hinder 1.46 billion naira intra-Africa travels. That's in Daily Independent this morning. Let's move to Business Day. FX markets rolls back to life with $1 billion single-day trade. Naira jumps to 1,278 naira to a dollar. NERC discos in crucial talks to raise tariff by 200%. Nigeria's skilled migrants deserve utmost dignity and respect, says Tuga. That's in Business Day newspaper this morning. Let's move to the Daily Times. Can FIRS on collision course over Easter message with POS machine. Kaduna gunmen arrested with Army General's complimentary card. Telecom union threatens strike over anti-labor practices. Kogi stakeholders task EFCC on timely prosecution of ex-Governor Bello. HOR's committee summons Lagos Airport restaurant over Benga Daniel's son. That's in the Daily Times newspaper this morning. Leadership says, Ondo APC ticket, Ayedatiwa Akeredolu's camp head for showdown. 16 months after flag off, federal government halts Kolmani oil drill. Residents alleged exploration equipment moved to Lake Chad, Nasarawa, and then PCL. Ministry keeps mum. We have provided enabling environment for smooth operations, says Bauchi State Governor. Ebenye, a well drilling ongoing in Nasarawa State. Of course, bandits released 30 abducted Katsina children. Naira gains to 1,278 Naira per dollar on official market, strongest in 2 months. Let's move. That's the leadership newspaper this morning. Nigerian News Direct says marketers will crash in prices as Dangote refinery begins sales of diesel aviation fuel. Explosion rocks army cantonment in Lagos as no casualty recorded. Bank capitalization, credit rating agency bank CBN move. Okay, predicts 1.4 trillion naira capital inflows if banks succumb to pressure. That's in Nigerian News Direct this morning. The Business Times says DMO latest debt report. Experts seek legislation to cut down on borrowing. Say data on debt are precarious situation. Federal government announces new gas price for electricity generating companies. Gold hits record peak. Oil rises on geopolitical tension. Prioritize backup of your data. NITSDA urges Nigerians, and CBN lending to banks grows by 47% to 21.7 trillion naira. That's in Business Times this morning. The blueprints, Nigerians interrogate 3.071 trillion naira FAC allocations to states in 9 months. Hold governors accountable for current hardship, not Tinubu, citizens urged. State sets a small portion of revenue loans for capital expenditure. That's according to budget, and of course that's in the Blueprint newspaper this morning. Nature News says here, aftermath of Nature News report, federal government moves to combat ginger blight outbreak in FCT, 3 states. NADF offers 1.6 billion naira as support to 15,000 farmers. LASEPA raises alarm on low air quality in Lagos State. Farmers' poultry house set ablaze in Plateau State. That's Nature News. Now, finally, from my end, Sporting Life says Alonso Boniface could play for 30 minutes. Guardiola delivers quadruple injury update. Ghana's out to break a PL goal-scoring record. Of course, these and many more headlines in a Sporting Life newspaper this morning.